Hello friends, this is Vineet Sharma and today we are here with a very interesting chapter, Indigo, written by Louis Fisher. In the beginning, I would like to tell you that this is the first part of our explanation. Louis Fisher was a notable journalist and author who used to write for different newspapers throughout the world. And like many other people, he was also attracted by the personality of our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. He was interested to write something on him, preferably a book. So therefore he came to India, remained with Mahatma Gandhi in his ashram, Sabarmati, for many months and came to know different facts about the life of Mahatma Gandhi. And Gandhi himself told him how he started different movements, different important movements in his life. One of them being civil disobedience movement, Quit India movement, and how it started that he wanted Britishers leave India as soon as possible. Related to it, the incident that Gandhi told him was related to Champaran, Bihar, and it was the year around 1916. When we start the chapter, I would like to tell you that the chapter is not only related to Mahatma Gandhi, it is related to the core issue of Indian independence. I repeat, Indian independence. Friends, it is very important for us to think deeply exactly what happened that Britishers were forced to leave India, quit India. It was a time when Britishers had complete hold on our country, complete hold on all the important institutions of our country. Indians were simply a slave for them or of them. Most of them were highly afraid of them. They did not consider Indians even as good human beings. Now, what compelled or what motivated Indians to be united? To feel that they have courage, to feel that they also have some rights, and to feel that they have got the defenders of those rights, and to feel that how they can challenge the might of powerful Britishers. Gandhi explained it to Louis Fisher, and how he explained, let me start. Let me go to the, you can say, the core issue of the chapter, the problem of indigo sharecroppers. It starts with here. The problem was exactly related to indigo sharecroppers. First, I would like to tell you what indigo sharecroppers or who these indigo sharecroppers were. It so happened that most of the cultivated or productive land at that time was in the hands of the Britishers. They used to be the landlords, and Indians worked on that land. Now, if the Indians used to work on that land, then they would have to pay some rent. My dear friends, at that time the rent was not paid in terms of money. It was paid in terms of indigo. I repeat, indigo is the indigo colored substance that we call meal, that we use to give a bright color or bluish color or fresh color to our clothes after they are washed. Now the point is why the Britishers wanted indigo as rent. The answer of this question is indigo was a very big commercial crop. Commercial crop means the crop which gave a very big benefit or very big profit, which was sold at a very high prices in international market. So therefore what Britishers demanded, they said or they asked the Indian tenants to grow anything what they wanted, but on 15% of that land, I repeat, on the 15% of that land, they were asked to grow indigo and surrender that entire indigo crop to their British landlords. As rent. It used to be rent. Of course, Indian tenants, Indian sharecroppers did not like it, but they were helpless, they could not do anything. And it was done through long-term contracts. Everything was going nice, for the time being you can say, but suddenly one development happened. And the development happened in Germany. What happened there? Actually, Germany developed synthetic indigo. Synthetic indigo means the indigo which can be developed or which can be produced in factories or labs. Another point is, when you can produce something in labs, you can produce it in as much quantity as you want. And when you can produce something in a very large quantity, it simply means that the prices of it would fall down substantially to a great extent. The same happened with indigo. The prices of indigo in international market fell to a great extent, and the news of it reached to the British landlords in India very quickly. So far Indian tenants were concerned, they did not know anything about that. Indian sharecroppers did not know anything about that. Now what the Britishers did, British landlords did, they played a trick. They asked Indian sharecroppers, indigo sharecroppers, that they would be freed from this indigo agreement. They would be free from this indigo agreement. They can keep the indigo crop with them. Instead, they should give them some compensation for freeing them from indigo agreement. They can keep the indigo crop with them. Instead, they can give the money to British landlords. Money according to the previous rates, higher rates. For many peasants, for many farmers, already the indigo agreement was very, very troublesome. They did not like it. So what they did, they signed the agreement. They gave the money to the British landlords and thought that now they were free from indigo agreement, and they thought that they would sell that indigo in the market and compensate their loss or whatever amount they had given to the Britishers. Some thought that the Britishers were very, very shrewd and they might be playing some tricks, and they did not sign the agreement. Instead, they hired the lawyers. At this, the Britishers, what they did, They hired thugs. They tried to bully them, intimidate them, okay, and try to get their signed contracts. Okay. When ultimately the Indian peasants came to know about the real prices of indigo in international market, then they felt that they were cheated. They felt that they were cheated. Now they wanted their money back. But who would listen to them? Who would listen to them? If they go to court, they knew that nothing is going to happen, because all the judges, authorities belonged to the Britishers. Most of them were Britishers. At this point of time, there was a sharecropper whose name was Rajkumar Shukla. And somebody told Rajkumar Shukla that there is a person named Mahatma Gandhi, and perhaps that person can help them. Like today, they did not have, you can say, so many news channels, or you can say media, newspapers, etc. Simply they had heard the name of Mahatma Gandhi, that he was a leader, and somebody told Rajkumar Shukla to go to Mahatma Gandhi, meet him, tell him about their problems, perhaps he can do something. Rajkumar Shukla did not know where he could find Mahatma Gandhi, but instead, somehow he got the information that he was attending the annual convention of Indian National Congress in Lucknow. What Rajkumar Shukla does, he reaches Lucknow to Mahatma Gandhi to request him to listen to their problem and to come to him to his place to solve the problems of indigo sharecroppers. So my dear friends, with this I finished the first part of this particular chapter. In the next part, I will explain how Mahatma Gandhi comes to their place and makes different efforts to solve the problems of indigo sharecroppers, and of course many more things. Thank you very much.